is Owen Sanchez from Wheatle TV. Right now, this is the fourth and last day of the Arabian travel market, and we're here concluding the event with the incredible India. And I'm very proud to have here with me the most important person that could lead and help us out on how we could travel to India the easiest way possible. Ma'am, can I get your full name and your current position right now in India?
Thank you, Owen. And first, namaste to everyone. So, I am Rupinder Brar and I am the Additional Director General in the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, and I am visiting Dubai for the Arabian Travel Mart.
Okay, I hope that you've got a very good visit right now here in Dubai. Is this your first time coming to Dubai?
No, it's not. I, in fact, had a chance to be in Dubai as early as 1979. I was still a growing up child. And so I've been here a few times earlier, but officially, yes, this is my first visit.
Okay, so right now I would like to ask some questions with regards to how India is now prepared for a lot of tourism visits, and as you could see, we've been affected, and everybody and all over the world is pretty much aware that it's very few people who could travel, and now that we have opened the avenue, and then we could see that there are so many people who could start traveling again. And we've seen here during Eid that some people have already visited Europe and had visited the States. And of course, Asia is also another good destination for us to see. How is it India handling this current influx of new batch of tourism?
Thank you. And indeed, it's been a tough 2 years for everyone globally. Travel had virtually stopped all over. And it's fantastic that travel has begun once again. And in the case of India also, we are absolutely fully prepared to welcome back tourists from all over the world. In fact, 15th of March 2022 is when all kinds of visas were opened. We had, in fact, started opening visas earlier also, but the entire category has opened from 15th of March, and all commercial flights have started from 27th of March. So, and we've already been getting visitors from all over the world, and it's a great feeling to get everyone back. We are making sure that our airports are absolutely equipped with thermal screening, and making sure that people, when they land up, are fully vaccinated. And if they are not fully vaccinated, then of course they need an RT-PCR. Okay. But if you are fully vaccinated, well, just walk in, and we are ready to welcome you. What we've also made sure in the last few months, almost a year now, that the hospitality chains, the taxi drivers, the bus drivers, and everybody else who could be a contact point in the service industry was vaccinated on priority.
Right.
And most of them are actually wearing badges to say that I'm vaccinated.
That's great to know. So you've mentioned earlier about the visa. How easy it is now to get a visa going to India, and we know that there's no reciprocity in any other countries for India. So is it much more easier to obtain visas right now when of course, people would like to visit India in the fastest mode like any other countries in the world?
Yes, you can, go online, apply for visas these days for 156 countries. In fact, there is the e-visa concept, and there is also, you can visit the embassies. The usual duration for visas anywhere is 1 to 3 days, and it doesn't take very long. And we are, of course, also adding the countries to the list of e-visas and making it easier and easier for everyone to travel to India. And we are, of course, at all times open to suggestions from the trade, from other countries. If they need any further facilitation, we're more than happy to take that up.
Okay, that's wonderful. So is there any specific destination that you would like to promote right now, and that none of the other previous tourists had visited India before? So is there anything that you would like us to see now that India is now open to promote this location and a tourist spot for us?
Owen, to an Indian, asking to choose one destination is like asking to choose one of the children, which is really hard. But nevertheless, I will suggest to anyone who plans to travel to India, right behind us, the picture that you see of the saffron fields is from the northernmost state of India. Kashmir,
Yeah.
and they say Kashmir is paradise on earth, and it truly is. And what is so beautiful about Kashmir is its people. They are really warm. The food is absolutely amazing. The landscape is to die for, and I think also just the whole experience of being in. And they say there's something called Kashmirian. So you experience Kashmir and the Dal Lake, floating markets, the flowers. It's an incredibly beautiful place. But having said that, I would also say that India is opening up a lot of other regions now to the world, and the northeastern part of our country is also very beautiful. It's very green. It's sometimes it's hot but not as hot. It's also very rainy at times. So it has these lovely walking trails. It also has the Asia's cleanest villages.
Wow.
And the rural tourism there is absolutely amazing to go for. And the people are again very, very loving and affectionate. And the food is awesome. So lots of reasons to travel to Northeast for, and it's one of the states in the Northeast is called the abode of the gods, because you have the clouds actually come in.
Wow.
And if you're staying in a homestay, the experience of a homestay in India is very different. You know what they say about India is you don't just go there to see buildings
Yes.
and roads. You go to live in India. You go experience India. India is a feeling to be, to be absorbed. So,
Okay.
yeah, so lots of favorite places. But for now, Kashmir, any season, go in the fall. You'll have the leaves under your
Right.
feet, crunching. Go in the winters. You can go skiing. Some of the best ski slopes in Kashmir.
Uh-huh.
And if you go in the summer, then you're beating the heat. And if you go in the spring season, then you have the tulips. So it's an amazing, amazing place. And the northeast of India would be my personal choices for now.
I see. Okay, so in terms of destination, distance is the most important for us. Coming from the Middle East, I know it's quite short flights, but there are some certain portions in India. And what are those? And I'm sure there are too many airports, which is very, very accessible coming from a different places in the world that considers the international airport of India. Can you just tell us more about it and what are the flights which are open right now that flies to India direct?
Yes, that's a very important question, Owen, because India is a very large country. And for anyone wanting to make a travel plan, because typically people will have about a week of a holiday, and you obviously want to maximize
Correct.
your time when you go there. So earlier, the number of airports and flights were not so many. So what people needed to do was to pick one central destination and pretty much do destinations
Within,
around it.
yeah.
You had a bus or a car, and you tried to
triangle.
just do,
Yeah.
the triangles, the small triangles. Now things are very different. We have almost 140 airports in the country, out of which
Wow.
20 have the facility to land and take off international flights. The recent most was Kushinagar, which is part of our Buddhist circuit. The Honorable Prime Minister had inaugurated that airport in October 2021. So now if you're landing in, let's say you're landing in Mumbai, and let's say you've seen some part of it and now you want to go into the northeast part of it. It's just about a 2.5 hour, 2 hour, 15 minutes kind of a flight, and you're in a very different terrain.
Right.
So you can go see that. You can hop back into Varanasi from Guwahati or Calcutta, which is in the eastern part of our country.
Okay.
Take a 1 hour flight into Varanasi, and you can go into the Ganges. And of course, Varanasi is the oldest living city.
Wow.
And it is culturally so rich. So, and then you can hop from Varanasi, come down to Hyderabad, which is
Right.
again an international airport and a phenomenal city, because the food in Hyderabad is absolutely to die for. And also the silks and the cotton, the weavings and the jewelry that they do over there, and the paintings and all kinds of arts and crafts. And of course there is the Salajang Museum, there's the Golconda Fort, there's also the latest UNESCO heritage site just 3 hours drive from Hyderabad. So you can go to this temple which has absolutely brilliant carvings.
Of course. And then I would like also to know, is India now ready for medical tourism?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, different forums give us different rankings. The American Health Association has put it as number 6 for medical tourism. A couple of others are putting us at number 10. Now, whether it's 6 or 10, It's clearly really up there when it comes to medical tourism.
Anything for education, is it India also a place for an exchange student like the others?
Absolutely. In fact, again, you'll say I keep harking back on our civilizational
Yeah.
wealth, but if you know about the Nalanda University in Bihar,
Right.
Nalanda, thousands of years back, the Chinese scholars would actually come and study in Nalanda. And do you know that just like currently for the civil service there are coaching classes, people would actually go to Indonesia to take coaching so that they could get entry in Nalanda. So hard was
Yeah.
the entry systems. But having
They
said that,
prepared
in the
themselves.
past, it is now also India has some of the finest universities and some of the finest minds come there in terms of research, in terms of deep diving into philosophical base of the various subjects, whether it is engineering, whether it is the medical schools, whether it's the arts, the liberal arts, or the commerce, or the business studies. We have some of the finest institutions. You would have heard about the Indian Institutes of Technology. They bring out some of the finest engineers that are today driving the Silicon Valley. I mean, look at Google chief himself, Nadella, right? And so many others in the world, leading CEOs of leading corporations
Correct.
are products of Indian institutions. And yes, so there is a lot of potential for the world also to
Ivy Leagues
come.
that you could
Yes,
say.
absolutely. The Indian Institute of Management, the National Institute of Design, and so whether you are in film, whether you are in the National School of Drama,
Correct.
the Indian School of
Fashion as
Business in
well.
Hyderabad, fashion, so whichever field that you want to study in and specialize in, India has something for everyone.
Can you just give us a brief of what's, or suggest at least, what's the best tourism site at the north, mid, south of India? Now I have to give you a hard time here.
Yes, picking anything in India is always a hard time because there's just so much that our country offers. But
Yeah.
yes, North I will say Kashmir again, but I'll also mention Ladakh, which
Okay.
is right next to Kashmir. And Ladakh has the cold desert. It's a cold desert, right?
Right.
And it's an absolutely brilliant terrain. It's very different, and the people are again very, very culturally rich.
Right.
And also, Ladakh has the world's highest boat travel pass.
Wow.
Yes, so you have to go there to experience the serenity is very different over there. So in north, yes, I would pick that. If you're coming in the center of the country, Madhya Pradesh, they also had a pavilion here.
Yeah, I've
And
seen that
yes, and so
downstairs.
Madhya Pradesh is a lot about culture and a lot of other things. But one thing which the world knows about, but perhaps doesn't know that it happened in India, was Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book. So Mowgli was born in the jungles of Madhya Pradesh, and India is of course home to 6 big cats, and so Madhya Pradesh has the cats, the tigers, and in Gujarat we have the Gir lion.
Okay.
So yes, I mean, we had put out some creatives. As you walk out, you can have a look in the pavilion
Right.
about the Gir lions. And so that's in the center. I would stay there and spend some time in a sanctuary. And when you go down south, well, again, it's hard. But if you want to choose visiting the temples, not only because you want to go pray there, but
Okay.
because of look at the architectural styles.
Styles, yeah.
The intricate carving styles in our temples is just another level, and you truly just stand there and marvel
Yeah.
that in times when they didn't have the kind of implements that are now available,
Yes.
how did people even do that?
Correct.
You know, so I think that's a phenomenal thing. But what I do also want to remind everybody that today in India, when you go to India, on your bucket list, don't forget to tick the world's tallest statue is with us today. The Sardar Patel statue of unity, as we call it, in Kevadia in the western state of Gujarat. That is the world's tallest statue. So you will be ticking off something very significant in your travel list by going there. And it's very easy to get there.
Right. You didn't mention on the south because myself, I've been to Kerala. Yeah. And I've seen really a lot of good places there, which I could understand that before in my world history. And when I've seen it on my own eyes, it's something different, you see.
Yes, absolutely. The backwaters of Kerala, The
Yeah.
massages of Kerala are so very famous, the Kerala massages. And so
Correct.
massages are in India. You see, when we talk about massages, we are not just talking about a physical thing. It's
Right.
something that penetrates your mind.
Correct.
We
Correct.
are looking at inner wellness, and that for us is a very important part of the whole wellness regime. So massage
Correct.
is actually just one part of
Part.
wellness.
That's correct. Okay, so now I think we understand a little bit of India, but with all your things that you have said so far, and then we have seen how India is very interesting for us to visit, not to miss any places in India. So this is a very knowledgeable interview with you, and we thank you for that. And this is your last floor for us to promote India one more time for everybody. For those who were not able to see or never been to India, this is your time to encourage them to visit and come over to India next time.
Yes, thank you, Owen. And through your platform and through this interview, I would like to reach out to everyone who's watching this interview that welcome to Incredible India, and we look forward to hosting all of you from wherever you want to travel. We are ready for you. So come and enjoy the hospitality of Incredible India.